Hello dear students, Assalamu alaikum. This video is about the model reading and explanation of the 8th chapter, Reach for the Top. Student, this story is biography of two very determined girls, Santosh Yadav and Maria Sharapova. Santosh Yadav is a climber and Maria Sharapova, as you know that, she is a tennis star. Students, this is the first part, Santosh Yadav. Now see before you read. Think for a while and make a list of 3 to 5 persons you idolize, models, or admire, appreciate very much for their achievements, for their success. Your idols, your models may be from any sphere of life, from any area of life, sports, medicine, media, or art and culture. Your teacher will then discuss your choices with you to find out who the top 5 idols of your class are. Students, just think about this and share your opinion and write your favorite 5 persons who are your idols in sports, in medicine, in media, art and culture. Okay students, just write this. Students, just see this story. The only woman in the world who has scaled on Mount Everest twice was born in a society where the birth of a son was related as a blessing, boon, and a daughter, though not considered a curse, was not generally welcome. When her mother was expecting hope, Santosh, a traveling holy man, giving her his blessing, wishing, assumed, considered, supposed that she wanted a son. But to everyone's surprise, the unborn child's grandmother, who was standing close by, nearby, told him that they did not want a son. The holy man was also surprised. Nevertheless, but he gave the requested blessing, and as destiny, luck would have it, the blessing seemed to work. Santosh was born the 6th child in a family with 5 sons, a sister to 5 brothers. She was born in the small village of Juniawaz of Rivari district in Haryana. Students, Santosh Yadav, who has scaled Mount Everest twice and set 2 records. The youngest woman in the world who scaled Mount Everest, and the second record, the only woman who scaled Mount Everest twice, was born in that society where the birth of the son regarded related blessing, but the birth of the girl, though not considered curse, but actually wasn't welcome. Santosh Yadav was born in a small village, Juniawaz of Rewari district in Haryana. When Santosh's mother was Santosh expecting a child, a holy man gave her blessing as a son, but actually her grandmother did not want a son. Actually, she wanted a girl. And the holy man blessed, and the destiny luck would have it. The blessing seemed to work, and Santosh was born the sixth child in a family. She was the sixth child in her family. She was the only sister of five brothers. The girl was given the name Santosh, which means contentment. Contentment, satisfaction, relaxation. But Santosh was not always content, relaxed with her place in a traditional way of life. She began living life on her own terms from start, where other girls wore traditional Indian dresses. Santosh preferred shorts. Looking back, she says now, from the very beginning, I was quite determined that if I choose a correct and a rational path, the others around me had to change, not me. Santosh was Santosh Yadav was a rebel. She did not like the traditional way of life, the traditional custom in her society, in her family, as where the girls wore traditional Indian dress, Santosh preferred shorts because she thought from the very beginning she was quite determined. As she says, if I choose a correct and rational path, the others around me had to change, not me. Santosh's parents were affluent landlords who could afford affluent, wealthy, rich. Santosh's parents were affluent landlords who could afford beer to send their children to the best schools, even to the country's capital, New Delhi, which was quite close by. But in the line with the prevailing, existing custom in the family, Santosh had to make do with the local village school. So she decided to fight the system in her own quiet way when the right moment arrived. And the right moment came when she turned 16. At 16, most of the girls in her village used to get married. Santosh was also under pressure from her parents to do the same. Santosh's parents were very rich. They could bear to send their children to the best school, even in best school of the capital New Delhi. But according to the custom, existing custom of her family, Santosh Yadav had to go to local village school. She did not like it, so she decided to fight the system in her own quiet way when the right moment arrived. And the right moment arrived when she turned 16 years old. But at 16, Most of the girls in her village used to get married. Santosh Yadav was also under pressure from her parents to do the same thing. A marriage as early as that was the last thing on her mind. She threatened forcefully, said her parents that she would never marry if she did not get a proper education. She left home and got herself enrolled, took admission in a school in Delhi. When her parents rejected to pay for her education, she politely informed them of her plans to earn money by working part time to pay her school fees. Her parents then accepted to pay for her education. Marriage as early as this was the last thing on her mind. So she forcefully said to her parents if she did not get a proper education, she would not marry. So, for her own good reason, she left home and got herself enrolled in a school, took admission in a school in Delhi. But here she faced another problem. Her parents refused to pay the school fees. But Santosh Yadav politely informed them of her plans. She would earn money by working part-time job to pay the school fees. Then her parents accepted to pay for her education. Wishing always to study a bit more, and with her father slowly getting used to her urgent request for more education, Santosh passed the high school examination and went to Jaipur. She joined Maharani College and got a room in Kasturba Hostel. Santosh remembers Kasturba Hostel faced Arauli Hills. I used to watch villagers from my room going up the hill and suddenly vanishing, disappearing after a while, after a minute. One day I decided to check it out myself. I found nobody except a few mountaineers. I asked if I could join them. To my pleasant surprise, they answered in the affirmative and motivated me to climb. When her parents knew about that, she wanted to get more education. So they accepted her request, and Santosh passed the high school examination and went to Jaipur for getting more education. She joined Maharani College and got a room in Kasturba Hostel. Santosh remembers Kasturba Hostel faced Arauli Hills. From her room, she used to see the villagers going up the hill, and after some time vanishing. So one day she decided to check it out, and she found some mountaineers. Here the story began to be a climber. She asked if she could join them. To her pleasant surprise, they answered in the affirmative and motivated her to climbing. Then there was no looking back for this determined girl. She saved money and enrolled in a course at Uttarkashi Nehru Institute of Mountaineering. My college semester in Jaipur was to end in April, but It ended on the 19th of May, and I was supposed to be in Uttarkasi on the 21st. So I did not go back home. Instead, I headed straight for the training. I had to write a letter of apology to my father, without whose permission I had got myself enrolled at Uttarkasi. Santosh Yadav. Santosh Yadav wanted to be a climber. So she went to Uttarkashi Nehru Institute of Mountaineering for training. And here she got training for climbing. Thereafter, Santosh went on an expedition campaign every year. Climbing campaign, expedition, climbing campaign every year. Her climbing skill matured rapidly. Also, she developed a remarkable resistance. Matured, developed rapidly. Also, she developed a remarkable resistance, counteraction to cold and the altitude. Altitude, high area. Equipped with an iron will, physical endurance, and an amazing mental toughness, she proved herself repeatedly. The culmination, peak point of her hard work and sincerity. The culmination of her hard work and sincerity came in 1992, just 4 years after she had shyly, bashfully asked the Aravalli mountaineers if she could join them. At barely 20 years of age, Santosh Yadav scaled Mount Everest, becoming the youngest woman in the world to achieve the feat. If her climbing skill, physical fitness, and mental strength impressed her seniors, her concern for others and desire to work together with them found her a special place in the heart of fellow climber. During the 1992 Everest mission program, Santosh Yadav provided special care to a climber who lay dying at South Col. She was unfortunately unsuccessful in saving him. However, she managed to save another climber, Mohan Singh, who would have met with the same fate, same situation, luck, had she not shared her oxygen with them. Santosh Yadav was very polite and very hard work, very sincere. During 1992 Everett mission or expedition, Santosh Yadav saved the life of another climber, Mohan Singh. Actually, Mohan Singh was going to die due to less oxygen, but Santosh Yadav shared her oxygen and saved Mohan Singh's life. So she was very polite. Within 12 months, Santosh found herself a member of an Indo-Nepalese women's expedition that invited her to join them. She then scaled Everest a second time, thus setting a record as the only woman to have scaled on the Everest twice and securing for herself and India a unique place in the annals of mountaineering, annals history of mountaineering. In recognition, in respect for her achievements, the Indian government bestowed provided upon her one of the nation's top honors, the Padma Shri. Describing her feeling when she was literally on top of the world, Santosh has said. It took some time for the enormity, great moment of the great of the moment to sink in. Then I unfurled open the Indian tricolor and held it up high on the roof of the world. The feeling is indescribable. The Indian flag was flying on top of the world. It was truly a spiritual moment. I felt proud as an Indian. Also a fervent, having a strong and sincere feeling. Fervent. Also a fervent environmentalist, Santosh collected and brought down 5 kilograms of garbage from the Himalaya. Santosh Yadav was very sincere, and she also was very sincere, and she is sincere for environment. Santosh Yadav brought garbage, 5 kilogram garbage from the Himalaya. Okay, students, thank you.